Adventure Time, as we all know, started off as kind of an anthological series, a series that didn't focus on lore and complex themes. Instead, you had episodes like this, and episodes like this.
Of course I'll go with you, Finn.
You will?
Yeah, as friends.
Of course as friends.
But no tongue.
What?
However, soon after, when we were introduced to the Lich, the Joker to Finn's Batman, the writers started injecting more and more lore into the show.
Dude, I'm so fucking scared!
And unfortunately, because of how long these episodes took to come out, there were so many people that just clocked out. Or, if you were like me, watched episodes as soon as they came out, but were just confused out of your mind. What do you mean there's a comet? What do you mean there was a war? Who the f is this guy? The lore got really confusing because of these long hiatuses, but in this video, I'm going to discuss and analyze one of the more underrated episodes that explains so much about the mysteries of the show. An episode that is often overlooked, an episode filled with forgotten characters and rich with lore, arguably the most important episode in the entire series. This is the episode titled Evergreen. We begin in an unknown day in the past, presumably several thousand years ago, where we see dinosaurs. We follow the small green dinosaur playfully chasing his pet, whom he calls Nina. She's presumably some Jurassic cat, judging by the fact that she meows, and also you can kind of see who she resembles by just looking at her eyes. This green dinosaur starts LARPing with her and calls himself
the great and powerful Urgent's Evergreen. Command you to freeze into 1,000,000 pieces.
But Nina here just starts rubbing her head close to him, having the dinosaur look disappointed. Then we see some flashing atop this ice pillar, and the dinosaur states,
the elementals are gathering. Come on, you blockhead!
Before he treks atop the tower. At the top, we see these 4 elemental wizards discussing something important. We have Chatsberry, the candy elemental, Balthus, fire elemental, Slimy D, because why not, as the slime elemental, and the most important character here, named Urgent's Evergreen, the ice elemental. This is who the green dinosaur was acting as when he was LARPing with Nina. So what are these guys talking about? Urgent's Evergreen, with his urgent urgency, tells them about the mysterious comet that is about to land on Earth and that he has a plan to get rid of it. Balthus, the fire elemental, interjects, pointing out that a comet hits the Earth every 1,000 years anyway, and it never leaves any lasting impact. But that's when Evergreen here zooms in on the comet, saying that this isn't an ordinary one.
See how it writhes? It aches for our extinction.
Chatsberry asks what they could possibly do to stop it, and Evergreen proposes that they build a crown, the crown, that will grant the wearer his one deepest wish, to destroy the comet. He's made the crown already, but needs 3 gems to use as a power source. Chatsberry is uneasy about the situation, stating that wish magic is
the real deal.
He makes a point that wishes are hard to quantify, that a wish can see things inside of someone that they can't see themselves. Chatsberry is cautious and questions whether Evergreen knows his heart's truest desire. This is a theme that has been present before in Adventure Time, specifically when it came to Prismo. He has warned Jake in the past that wishes come at a cost, so unless you truly know what it is you want, it could cause more harm than good. And this is further reflected through what Balthus says next. He agrees with Chatsberry and says that even if the comet destroys them, their elements will continue to live on. A wish could cause irreparable damage, worse than what the comet does. This is also great foreshadowing for how this episode ends. So these 2 elementals veto Urgent's plan. Evergreen then asks Slimy D for his input.
Yo, my name's Slimy D, and I'm here to...
Slimy D stands with us.
And so Evergreen pulls a Michael Jordan.
Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
And he starts blasting. He then calls out to the green dinosaur by his name.
Gunther! Pack my things, Gunther. We ride forthwith from Mount Magwood.
Not so subtle parallel here, but just keep this detail in mind. Leave a comment down below some of your favorite lore-heavy episodes from Adventure Time. Please leave a like and subscribe while you're down there, it would mean a lot. Urgent's Evergreen is Gunther's master, and the dinosaur worships him like a god. Evergreen, however, treats him like shit. We see this when Evergreen uses his powers to travel, whilst Gunther has to travel on foot. The dinosaur even asks the wizard if he can ride with him, but the guy simply ignores him. They're on the way to fight this lava creature named Magwood, that has the 3 gems Evergreen needs for the crown. They stop for the night when Gunther wants to put on some music. Urgent agrees and tells the dinosaur to put on chimes. He instead, however, summons this weird creature who starts playing bongos. This pisses the wizard off.
Gunther, no!
Sorry, Master, I'll put him back.
After that, he tells Gunther to go fetch him some water, that there's not enough moisture in the air to make them an ice shelter.
You're out of ice? You can't run out of ice. I thought you could use the water in the air. There is no water in this air.
Gunther respectfully tells him that he hasn't seen water at all on their trip so far. Urgence then reveals a crucial piece of info that shows how much more of a shipback he is.
Just do it. Don't anger Daddy.
Wait, Are you my father?
No, but I stole your egg and mutated your brain. Get going.
No wonder Gunther worships the guy. It also briefly explains how he is the only talking dinosaur in this time period. Gunther leaves with Nina and luckily finds a small stream of water. He says to his pet that Master Evergreen is going to teach him magic, that he wants to be like him. This carries a double meaning. One, that he wants to learn powers from him, but also in how he treats Nina. When he is unable to get more water because the glass jug is too big, he starts getting frustrated. The Jurassic cat then taps him to calm him down, but he lashes out even more.
Nina, no!
The more Evergreen looks down on Gunther, the more he'll mirror that behavior, something that's bound to come back to bite Urgence in the ass. The dinosaur returns, but it turns out that Evergreen has already made an ice shelter for himself, meaning that the asshole wizard just wanted Gunther to piss off. The next morning, they arrive at the lava cave where Urgence urgently tells Gunther not to come into Magwood's lair, or else the creature is gonna melt his face off. He then leaves and instantly starts calling out for Gunther to help him, and it turns out that was a social experiment.
Gunther, no! You failed. He'll melt your dome.
Soon after, Gunther hears the sounds of magic spells being cast all over, and despite his master's commands, he walks in to see Magwood, this large lava dog overpowering Urgence. Gunther then tries to do magic like his master does, and obviously fails. He then trips and falls, catching the attention of the lava monster.
That's what you get!
Because of this distraction, Urgence manages to get the upper hand, and he steals the jewels. The worst part? What he says to Gunther after they escaped.
This is why I don't teach you magic.
Later, back at the ice tower, Evergreen calls for Gunther and says this.
Ah, there you are, you blockhead.
Sound familiar?
Nina, the elementals are gathering! Come on, you blockhead!
These repeated insults further highlight how Gunther is absorbing and mimicking the negative traits of his master, without even realizing. The comet has arrived, and he tells Gunther that as soon as he's finished the bonding chant for the crown and the jewels, he can lower the force field. After successfully executing it, Magwood, the lava dog, bursts through the tower doors, this time, however, not having his lava powers. He starts smashing into the walls and into the columns, which causes some ice to fall on him, knocking him out. Evergreen then says,
Wow, did you see that?
and in a matter of seconds, everything goes to shit. Gunther wakes up and he hears Evergreen calling out to him. After coming up with a ridiculous suggestion that Gunther should throw the crown so that it lands directly on Urgence's head, absolute clown, he says that it has to be Gunther to be the one who has to wear it. Urgence urgently tells him to focus on his deepest, truest wish, the destruction of the comet. Gunther puts it on his head, and we then hear this.
Gunther, no! Gunther, no!
Gunther, buddy,
no.
what are you wishing for down there?
Gunther, no! Gunther, no!
So it's clear that his deepest wish, as echoed throughout the episode, was to be like Urgence Evergreen. He begins losing his mind while Evergreen tells him,
You've got to snap out of it! Use a concentration spell or a basic focusing charm, like I taught you! I mean, like I meant to teach you.
After all the abuse the guy inflicted on Gunther, now he finally feels some sense of guilt. As Gunther loses his mind, it fades to Ice King in the present, revealing that we are witnessing a dream that he was having. The episode ends by revealing that a new comet is approaching Earth, a looming presence that will hang over the story until the end of season 6. Now, why was this episode so important? Evergreen is an episode that foreshadowed and revealed so many answers to the mysteries of the show's lore, the most notable being the origin of the crown. In the season 1 episode, What Have You Done?, Ice King says to Finn and Jake,
I didn't steal it. I made that item. Made it with the magic that I stole. So hand it over or I'll strike menacing poses at you.
This fits in line with the story of Urgence Evergreen, as he did make the crown and steal the jewels from Magwood. It further shows how Simon has probably been having these visions since the first time he put on the crown. It is also revealed that the reason Ice King calls Gunther the Penguin Gunther is because of what the green dinosaur wished for. If you think about it, the entire show of Adventure Time was a result of Urgence Evergreen's neglectful and hurtful behavior toward Gunther. Why? Well, let's go back to the Green Comet. It's clear to anyone who has seen the show that this comet is the evil essence of the Lich, judging by how Evergreen says,
It aches for our extinction.
and the fact that it has green horns. This is later confirmed at the end of season 6, when Finn speaks to the Catalyst Comet. As stated by Balthus earlier in the episode, the Catalyst Comet appears every 1,000 years, and it is later confirmed by Glob in another episode that it brings with it an agent of change. The comet reveals to Finn that it has embodied all that is good in the universe, aka Finn, and all that is evil, or the Lich. The crown transforms Simon into Ice King, causing Betty to try and find a cure, causing her to summon Golb, and even have her fuse with the guy. It all started from this episode. In the end of the show, the crown did eventually land in the hands of Gunther, where Jake says,
Jump him! He's gonna wish to be our space villain!
Because Gunther, the penguin here, is actually Orgalorg, another main villain. However, instead of turning into something even more villainous as we'd all expect, he ends up as the Ice Thing, a creature we briefly see in the 1,000-year time skip at the end of the show. You can even see that he has the same feat as Urgent's Evergreen. Both Gunthers just wanted to be like their masters, I guess. Gunther the dinosaur makes a brief appearance and broke his crown, where Princess Bubblegum and Marceline go inside the crown to see all the previous bearers. We see Gunther, Simon, and even Santa Claus.
Dude, the Santa?
Nope. Doesn't ring a bell.
The title Evergreen can have several meanings too, the most obvious being that Urgent's Evergreen is one of the main characters in the episode. Another is how the comet that hits the Earth is green, that at the end of the episode, the world is plunged into chaos because of its evil essence, thus making the world evergreen. Another relates to what evergreen means. These are plants that stay green throughout the year. This could relate to how various things in the episode refuse to change. Urgent's refuses to change his abusive ways, the crown's power remains the same through eons, and how the commanding traits of Urgent's Evergreen are present in the form of Ice King. Another cool thing I like about the title is its irony. It sounds positive, but as we learn in the end, it ends in failure and chaos. A theory I'm sure a lot of people have had is how Gunther and Nina were past lives of Finn and Jake. This is supported by the title card of the episode, where we can see the two doing the pose that Finn and Jake perform at the end of the theme song. It's even clearer when you watch the episode without skipping it. As I mentioned earlier, Nina has Jake's eyes. You could also make the connection of how Farm World Finn goes crazy with the crown, as Gunther does at the end. Do you think they are past lives? Let me know down below. This episode is also major foreshadowing for the Elements arc, involving Urgent's Evergreen's reincarnation as Patient Saint Pym, and what happens to Ooh while Finn and Jake leave for the islands. There's a lot involving this specific arc, which I would love to go deeper into in a future video. Let me know if you guys want that down below. Overall, with how much this episode sets up, with how much lore it gives, I can confidently say this is the most important episode in Adventure Time. Do you think this is the most important episode in the show? Let me know down below. Again, please leave below any recommendations and ideas you have for future videos. Check out my other cartoon videos here, and thanks for watching.